From Jack's Teach here, just showing you how I do my Harbor and Sprout patchwork studies. The main thing is this folder, which I will link. I absolutely love this folder for this purpose because I just divide it by topic. So this one's all of the science for week 2. Nature study, language arts, so-and-so, so you get the idea through it, writing and history, geography and math, art and math. And then this was what's left over of week 1 that we haven't done, which is art and geography. We haven't done those yet. So that's what how I divide it. And these folders have just a little thing, and then extra goes behind it. And what you'll see too is that I have 2 children, so I'll just print I just print the entire week, the whole packet. I like having it on hand because we aren't always beside a computer. I like having it right here. And then I print extra consumables and put them behind here. So both kids have the consumables. And that's how I leave my folder, just like this. I do not follow the recommended schedule. I find it too much to keep up with, honestly. What I do instead is I will do, today I might do just the history portion, or if I feel like we got through history and they're still really intrigued and they want to absorb a little bit more and they're eager, then we might do maybe history and music, or I might do writing and language arts. But if I get there and I can feel that they are not ready for more, then I just stop. I stop where we're at and we'll pick up tomorrow. And that's the beauty of doing a patchwork study over the summer. So you can see all the different units. Now, to give you an example of what this looks like, for example, let's look at the history. This one is beekeeping in ancient Egypt. It gives you a little overview. I'll talk about royal bees, and it's not a lot of reading. It's not a lot at all. It's less than a lot of books. There's really good pictures, so it'll tell you about the clay pipe, horizontal hives. There's a bonus here if you wanted to try and build something on your own. There's beekeeping hieroglyphics, which is really cool. And then if you notice, this one's for younger children and it'll tell you what to do. And then this one's for older children and it will tell you what to do. So they keep it for all different ages, so you can do it as a family unit. And then here we go. I'll skip the page. So there's the beekeeping hieroglyphics where we're writing it ourselves. So they're learning about the history. Here's the extra consumables. The other child will definitely want to see the clay pipes, and I don't want them fighting over the pictures, so I printed an extra one. Writing is here. We're slowly building a story by going through week by week very gently. Language arts, the nature study. And what I love most about these, honestly, I love how gentle and playful it is. The music, for example, you're going to be doing learning about percussions and how that relates to bees and their wing movement. And then you're going to be doing tuned versus untuned percussion instruments. And here's your selection. You get a brief paste. And then these are your flashcards for the week. So you could print those on cardstock if you wanted to. I'm not about that. I'm not going to do that. They can just look at them. And sometimes I make a banner out of them just for a little extra. And then this one is make your own drum and experiment with the sound, and then how to do it. So I'm trying to get this QR codes. So just really fun, really playful. I keep my kids' things in just regular folders as we're going through it. I just write it by hand. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to look nice. It's just yours. I'm not going to show you the bottom of the folder because the kids' names are on them. But you can see we talked about last week the main character, the setting, the plot line, those kinds of things. So my children both came up with a main character, a setting, another character, and then they drew them. It's really, really, really neat. A conflict. They've had some mazes they've done, and then what was the setting for the Winnie the Pooh story and what the character. And then they had to draw and summarize for my writer, and my other one just drew, and then they traced the life stages. And same thing here. Same thing here. Here's his character. It's adorable. And the setting of his story. This was a 2-page setting because he couldn't fit it all in one. The conflict, I wrote it out for him. His main character, which by the way I think is adorable. And then he wrote this. He's just writing. So that says woods and blue and the conflict. And then this was his story summary, so it's just a picture. So we have a lot of fun doing this as a family. If you have any questions on the Harbor and Sprout Patchwork Studies, let me know. Like I said, I'll link this folder because this thing is what makes it so easy. I tried it without this and it was not the same as just putting them in these little clear things and going about my day. Thank you.